strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved.
And on sport news tonight, Egypt Mayor Sheriff creates history at Australian Open. This and more sporting stories much later on the news. My name is Moses Jeremy. Stay with us.
Starting our coverage tonight, the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has revalidated his membership of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC at its polling unit Ward 1, Egurege Unit 003 in Ikene Remo. He noted that the exercise would further boost the morale of party members, saying APC is still the party that has the wherewithal to solve the nation's challenges. Governor's Office correspondent Tunde Olaniro reports that this marks the commencement of the registration exercise in Ogun State. This report.
At 12:36 in the afternoon, the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, arrived in Ikene Remo in the waiting arms of the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Akabiodun, National Leader of the party, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, Governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, among others. Straight to Ward 1, Egurege Unit 3, for the revalidation exercise of the party. The Vice President said the registration and revalidation exercise will confirm the status of the party as the party of the people.
Party registration and revalidation is important because it offers us an opportunity to have a credible role of our members, such that we are able to reach our members from the polling booth level all the way to the wards, local government and federal constituencies. Why do we want to reach our people? The people are the party, and the party is the people. There is no party without the people.
Professor Osinbajo said APC remains the party that has all the resources to solve the country's challenges.
The coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic has made matters worse. And we have also had, as you know, security challenges that have stretched our law enforcement capacities all over the country. But we remain the best party, the best people to solve this problem. Let us not be in any doubt about that. Our focus on jobs for our young people is a resolute commitment of our party. Aside from the various microcredit schemes that we are putting in place, our payroll support program, the Empower, and now 774,000 jobs program, 1,000 in every local government. We also have the mass housing scheme, where we hope that every Nigerian that can pay 8,000 to 10,000 a month can own a home of his own.
He said plans are in top gear to find lasting solution to the security challenges confronting the nation.
We must ensure the prosecution of all those who have been arrested for kidnapping, for banditry, and for all manner of criminal activities in this land. There must be evidence that justice is being done. And this is achievable by the stronger collaboration between the police, the state ministries of justice, and the federal ministry of justice. We can make this happen, and we continue to work at ensuring that this is done. The second opportunity that we have is that with the new service chiefs that Mr. President has just appointed, we have a fresh set of eyes, intellect, and skills, and a fresh look at strategies against the insurgencies in the northeast, as well as against banditry and kidnapping elsewhere.
He urged Nigerians to resist any attempt to cause chaos and disunity in the country, admonishing interested Nigerians to utilize the opportunity to register and become member of the party. Tunde Olaniro, Ogtv News.
In the same vein, the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has said the All Progressives Congress, APC, in the state remains inclusive, accommodating and formidable. The governor stated this at the flag-off of the revalidation and registration exercise of the party in Ikene Remo by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Governor's Office correspondent Tunde Olaniro reports.
At the flag-off of the registration and revalidation exercise in Ikene Remo, the governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, and the team leader, Southwest Zone, for the party registration, Senator Lawan Shuaibu, said the essence of the registration is to establish power base at the wards.
The power in APC is from bottom up. Your ward chairman is your party leader. The intention is to bring back the party to all of you here, to the people, down. You control the party, the top cannot. Whoever wants to join this party must go back to the ward.
Your Excellency, as chairman of the National Revalidation and Registration Exercise of the APC, I have made it very clear that no one will be left behind. Your Excellency, you will recall the last exercise took place in the year 2014.
The former governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, said APC is all about the people and Ogun State is a progressive state.
This is the home of Papa Obafemi Awolowo, the father of progressive politics in Nigeria. Unless we are in a party in Yoruba land, that party is not progressive. Philosophy. So, Mr. Vice President, I welcome you back home. I welcome you back to the hallowed land of the progressive politics of Nigeria. I will continue to say it, wherever the Yoruba is, that is the home of progressive politics.
The governor of Ogun State, Prince Abiodun, urged all the people to take advantage of this process.
Permit me to share with you that since I've had the privilege of being your governor, we've had a lot of other members of other parties join this great party. We've had members that have joined us from ADC. We've had members that joined us from APM. We've had members that joined us from PDP. This makes this exercise a very instructive one. But because this will allow all these new people that have just joined us to register.
The revalidation of membership of the Vice President is a signal to all of the commencement of the exercise in Ogun State. Tunde Olanero, Ogtv News.
Meanwhile, the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has revalidated his membership of the All Progressives Congress APC at Ital Shoyin Ward 1, Unit 3. The governor at the event said APC is the party to beat in the state. Governor's office correspondent Tunde Olanero reports.
The purpose of the visit to his ward at Ital Sonyi, Ward 1, Unit 3, was to revalidate his membership of the All Progressives Congress, APC. The people who were excited to see their son turned it into a carnival or a political rally. The governor said there is no better time to join APC than now.
That this party, since I assumed office, has grown in leaps and bounds. Our membership continues to swell. Members have been joining us from other parties. From ADC, they've joined us. You have GNI sitting behind you, who contested with me in the last elections. You have members of PDP that have joined us. And only recently we had members of APM that have all joined us on the floor of the House of Assembly. Today, we boast of having 23 out of 26 members of the House of Assembly. This is clearly unprecedented in the history of this state. I want to plead with those of us who are incumbent members of the party that will be revalidating their membership. Please invite this principle of inclusiveness. All those that have joined us, please open your arms and receive them.
Because a party is not a social club. It is not a privileged club. The more of us in the party, the merrier. The more we are, the greater our chances of winning elections, better and easier.
There were goodwill messages at the event appealing to residents to visit their wards to register.
I want to implore members that are here to take this opportunity and make sure that we register massively. And we all turn ourselves volunteers to canvass others to come and join this party, particularly the young men and the young women. I call on everybody, most especially the intending members, who are willing to join our party, to go and register. After registering the governor of Ogun State, and also the whole members, to go and revalidate their membership status.
Tunde Olaniro, Ogtv News.
Away from politics, Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, has said that the government will continue to support and encourage its learners to participate in academic competitions in order to identify the best and explore their potentials. Professor Arigbabu made this known at the state competition of the Junior Engineering Technique and Science JET among schools at Abeokuta Grammar School, Idiaba, saying adequate preparation has been put in place to ensure that representatives of the state emerge as overall best. Professor Arigbabu, who stated this who stated that the state won 11 laurels in various competitions last year, noted that the schools will continue to give quality teaching to produce excellent students.
As a Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, we try to encourage all this. And in actual fact, what we have decided again in the Ministry is that our public schools should be well represented, should be encouraged to participate in all these competitions. And that's why we'll be sponsoring them to compete in these competitions, so that as they have more of these competitions, they'll be able to bring to bear whatever they have with them.
The Commissioner added that engaging learners in excellence competitions would help tax their brain for education advancement that would project the state in the front line among its peers in the country. Still ahead in the news, President Buhari performs groundbreaking $1.9 billion Kano Maradi rail project. Monitor and report after the break. Do join us again.
No one sees what this journey took from him. How many times he broke down. So when pain comes knocking, we look back at it without fear and say, not today.
MCAP suspension. Fast relief from pains and fever in children.
Welcome back. President Muhammad Buhari has performed the groundbreaking ceremony of Kano Maradi Rail project, which will cost the Nigerian government $1.9 billion. The president, who performed the ceremony virtually, restates the commitment of the present administration to infrastructure development of the country, while also maintaining bilateral relationship with neighboring countries.
Revenue through expansion of trade and commerce, while the people of Niger Republic will benefit from ease of transportation, logistics at affordable costs in their import and export.
The Minister of of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, explained that the project would open up the country to more investment, arguing that it is for the best interest of Nigeria for Kano-Maradi Railway to be constructed.
Within Kano, Katsina, Jigawa states, and the 25-kilometer extension into Niger Republic involves construction of single-track standard gauge rail line with an alignment of approximately 284 kilometers.
The ceremony was attended by members of the Federal Executive Council, governors from the northwest of the country, and royal fathers. The single-track standard gauge line would have 12 stations and will provide coastal connection between landlocked Niger Republic and southern Nigeria ports of Lagos and Lekki. The line would also include a 93-kilometer branch from Kano-Duse, as well as Jigawa State. Construction is due to take 2 years and 8 months. Now, one of the national leaders of the All Progressives Congress and former governor of Ogun State, Aremo Olusegun Oshoba, has revalidated his membership of the party, accompanied by the Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun and other members of the party in Ogun State. The former governor performed the exercise at his polling unit in Onikolobo. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
One of the national leaders of the All Progressives Congress and former governor of Ogun State, Aremo Olusegun Oshoba, performing the revalidation exercise to renew his membership of the party in the presence of the Ogun State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, political office holders, leaders, members of the party in Ogun State, and APC Registration and Revalidation Committee in the southwest of the country. After officially becoming a bona fide member of the party once again, Aremo Oshoba then addressed the party faithful, assuring them of his 100% loyalty to the party and continued support for the current administration in Ogun State. The former governor urged members of the party to be united for a common goal of building a formidable party that will always come out victorious in every election. Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun said his administration will continue to count on the support of the former governor, who has demonstrated his genuine love for his people by the choice of the polling units. Prince Abiodun promised that his administration will continue to spread development to every part of the state without leaving anyone behind, as he called for the acceptance of new members into the party.
Let us accept them, because carry Oshelu, the more we are, the merrier. The more we are, the easier it will be for us to win elections.
The governor promised the immediate commencement of the construction of Kobakpe Oba Road and rehabilitation of Shorubi Primary School. He assured of more developmental programs in the state. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
The presidency says no fewer than 30,000 Etherwell Empire beneficiaries have been hired as agric enumerators. The Empire Cash for Work program, inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2016 with 500,000 of direct beneficiaries, is spread across the key industries targeted by the program: agriculture, health, education, and tax. Laolu Akonde, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Office of the Vice President, disclosed this in a statement in Abuja. He said that the ministries and heads of agencies reported further progress in the implementation of the federal government Economic Sustainability Plan, ESA, as Vice President Yemi Osinbajo presided over ESA's meeting at the Presidential Villa. Highlights of the report presented to the committee included the release of 37 billion naira for the Micro and Medium Enterprises Survival Fund. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has read the presidential request for the confirmation of appointment of new service chiefs. The request for the confirmation of 5 nominees, including immediate past service chiefs as long career ambassadors, was also read. Shortly before the Senate honored the late member of the House of Representatives, Ose Prestige from Abia State, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, said executive communications were received during their 6 weeks recess. This includes the request for the confirmation for appointments of the new service chiefs.
Major General Laki Irabo, Chief of Defense Staff. Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, Chief of Army Staff. Rear Admiral Awal Zubairu Gambo, Chief of Naval Staff. And Air Vice Marshal Isiaka O Amao, Chief of Air Staff.
5 nominees and long career ambassadors include the immediate past service chiefs, General Abayomi Olorunishaki, Lieutenant General Tukuborotai, Air Marshal Abubakar Siddiq, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibaz, and Air Vice Marshal Muhammad Usman Agugu as Auditor General of the Federation. In keeping with parliamentary tradition, President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, welcomed his colleagues back and reminded them of the need to pass some critical bills this year.
The Petroleum Industry Bill, PIB 2020, the Electoral Act Amendment, and the 1999 Constitution Amendment Bills, amongst others. We are all aware that the PIB is a critical legislation that our country needs to enhance transparency and accountability in the Nigerian petroleum industry.
President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has said the intervention of political leaders is needed to stop herdsmen crisis and the activities of bandits and kidnappers in the country. The Senate President described political leaders as problem solvers, adding that leaders in the country need to unite against criminality. He also urged the leaders to resist the antics of divisive elements bent on instigating inter-ethnic tensions across the country. The lawmaker noted that insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, and militants remain serious threats to the security of Nigerians. He added that there are challenges that require collaborative efforts of the legislative and the executive to tackle. On the 9th of February 2001, GSM, the Global System for Mobile Communications, was introduced to Nigeria. The launch of GSM liberated Nigerians from lack of wider information opportunities. In this special report, Adibola Oshomoji examines the contributions of GSM to the socio-economic growth of Nigeria. Our reports.
The Global System for Mobile Communications, GSM, was introduced to Nigeria in 2001 and has contributed positively in boosting economic activities in the country. Nigerians are of the opinion that if there is a silver lining in the cloudy story of GSM in Nigeria for the past 10 years, it has to be the internet, because it has made internet more affordable and accessible than it has ever been.
So you have the advent of Global System for Mobile Communication on real estate. So you have the service provider renting, places either for offices and then places for their mass, for transmission, a lot of development coming onto people. Even in rural areas, people started making money for land that was, before now useless for them.
Security-wise, criminals have been tracked, by their phone records. The phone calls, the last phone call they made, criminals have been tracked with that. So it has helped to improve the security. Police have their own security phone app that you can put on your phone. They even telemedicine. I don't need to go to the hospital via the internet from my phone. So the GSM has brought internet along with it. People no longer go to cyber cafe. You want to do anything on the internet, you can do it using your phone as a modem or using your phone directly.
Millions of Nigerians now access the internet via their GSM phones or a GSM-enabled device. Nigerians have taken their place on Facebook, Yahoo, Gmail, Twitter, and Google, with millions of them visiting these sites every day. With more people now accessing the internet, it is now making sense for businesses to go online, creating more opportunities for web developers, application developers, graphics designers, and consultants. Adebola Oshomuji, Ogtv News.
Former Nigeria's Minister of Finance, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, is set to be appointed as the first female and first African to lead the World Trade Organization next week. The organization made this known in a statement titled WTO General Council to consider appointment of next Director General on its website on Tuesday. The global trade body announced that it would hold a special meeting of its General Council on February, where it will consider the appointment of the next WTO Director General. The WTO General Council would hold a special meeting on the 15th of February at Geneva to consider the appointment of the next Director General. The meeting will take place in a virtual format, the statement added. This is coming after the U.S. President Joe Biden's administration on Friday offered its support to Okonjo-Iweala to lead WTO, clearing the path for her to become the body's first female and first African leader. Poor data management remains a limitation for Nigeria's economy advancement as a result of lack and poor implementation of policies on what constitutes data. This, among others, were itemized by respondents who called on government to ensure proper management of information and data in the country. Our reporter Bumi Adigun in this report takes a look at factors in beating Nigeria from having a strong database.
Nigeria has been identified as one of the countries without a strong database, which has made it difficult for her to identify its problems. This has also led to insecurity as the borders are porous and no means of proper identification of Nigerian citizens and foreigners. Management of a strong database seems elusive for a country of over 200 million people. How many births have been registered and captured from the hospital? And what is the statistics of those who leave the world through death every day? Dr. Zacchaeus Oni Omogbadegu, an associate professor of computer science and the acting head, Department of Computer Science, Chrisland University, Abeokuta, unraveled the likely problems facing the country, which has hindered the process of being proud of a working data management system.
Every organization has a database. The data we have in Nigeria, how we manage the data, how we create the data, everybody's demography should be available easily and effortlessly. Now that we're in the digital world, it should not be a problem if we are committed to get it in place.
When issuance of identity, data collection and management, which is indeed the needed will for a digital economy, is missing, other sectors of the economy crumble.
All those data that we have been gathering in the past, we call them a disjointed data. What do I mean by that is that the data is not centralized. When you don't bring the data together, synchronize it, collect only one data, then share the data with other authorities.
Respondents are of the opinion that some people, for their selfish interest, may not want it to work, as immediately Nigeria gets to the stage where a formidable database management is achieved, everyone's information can be accessed.
What I can say that is happening to our database management system is nothing but corruption. People, for one reason best known to them, doesn't want us to have a reliable data. for their own selfish end.
It shows the lack of genuine sincerity of our leaders in taking data management seriously. Go to advanced country. When a child is born, the child is registered and they give social security number. At the tap of a button, with the date of birth, all the information of such person will come and pop up on the system.
The federal government in the past had introduced many data capturing avenues so as to have a link to every Nigerian. This has also necessitated the ongoing national identity card registration, which will bring about a formidable data management system of all Nigerians. Bumi Adigu, Ogtv News.
The federal government will partner Cameroon and Chadian troops in ending the menace of insurgency in the northeast. This was disclosed by the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Atairu, to journalists at the Army Super Camp 1, Magadu, Yobe State. Atairu said the challenges confronting soldiers on the front line were surmountable and would be addressed with military effectiveness. He also pledged to improve the welfare of the troops in the theater of operations in the northeast, noting that efforts were on the way to acquire boots, uniforms and protective gears in a couple of weeks. He also said plans would be made to replace soldiers who have served long in the northeast, vowing that the rotational policy would be made in a matter of months, while charging the troops to put in greater efforts in fight against the Boko Haram. It said the army would improve support arms and logistics to the soldiers in order for them to fight effectively. According to the World Health Organization, more than 200 million women have undergone female genital mutilation, with 3 million more at risk every single year. The barbaric act is practiced all over the world, but predominantly in 30 countries. In the special report, Olajumoke Oladipupo x-rays the causes and effects of female genital mutilation and the way out. Our report.
Female genital mutilation is a traditional surgical procedure for altering female genital organs for non-medical reason. According to report, more than 200 million women have undergone female genital mutilation, with 3 million more at risk every single year. Girls are circumcised when they are still very young, especially under the age of 5. This cycle of social pressure has been described as violence against women and girls, child abuse and sexual assault.
One, there is open discussion about the practice of FGM. Before now, it's a practice that people just don't talk about.
To me, I feel it is repugnant to natural justice, equity and good conscience. That some people are still practicing it is barbaric. They should stop it.
Respondents said that the practice is often intended to limit female sexuality and preserve virginity for marriage, make the woman to be obedient and not to be sexually aggressive.
We have people that have not been mutilated and are not promiscuous. We have people that have been mutilated and they are still promiscuous. The issue of promiscuity is actually a moral question, and each person develops his moral values.
Doctor told me that I have been infected with some diseases through the circumcision. I don't think I can never forget it till I will die.
The unsterilized tools used for genital mutilation lead to heavy bleeding, hemorrhage, infection, contamination, and fainting.
It affects childbirth because during childbirth, because those layers that help, protect the perineum during childbirth are being cut off already. So the woman is likely to have tears from the effect of female genital mutilation. Some of them can develop fistula.
I don't think banning is ban it. It's not the answer, but education. Because most of the people that do it are people who are religiously coerced into it.
They added that the only way to end female genital mutilation is by educating community leaders and mothers on the long-term damage the practice can bring on the girl child, and the need for cultural intervention, laws and policies that kick against the practice. Olajumoke Oladipupo, Ogtv News.
In business news, Department of Petroleum Resources issues license for first floating LNG plant. This and some business stories shortly. Welcome to Business News. The Department of Petroleum Resources announced on Monday that it has issued a license to establish the first floating liquefied natural gas production plant in the country. The DPR said in a statement that the license was issued to UTM Offshores Limited, an indigenous oil and gas company. He said the plant would have a capacity to produce 178 million cubic feet per day of natural gas and condensate. The Director Chief Executive Officer, DPR, Mr. Saik Awalu, while presenting the license at the agency's headquarters in Abuja, described the development as a milestone. He said it was a reinforcement of the promise and commitment of the President Muhammadu Buhari to Nigerians to